everybody, welcome to the show. As always, I'm the host, Chris Owners, and thank you for tuning in. Like we said, today we're going to be having a special guest joining us on the show. She's a singer, songwriter, it's not a person down. Rhiannon Clark. Hello, girl. How you doing today?
Hello. How's it going? Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing music-wise? Everything all good?
Everything is good. Everything is flowing beautifully, and God is blessing me with some beautiful tunes to play. So yeah, happy days.
Amazing, amazing. Right, before we talk about more of your music, that want to kind of go through your experience, and your lifestyle. What I mean by your lifestyle, how things started for you, and you fight back to transform yourself. You went through a lot of dramatic situation that left you, scared in different areas. I want to leave that to you to really talk us through the journey, and then we can progress from stage to stage. Over to you.
Very good question. Thank you so much for asking about that. And yeah, so in life, I think our journey, we can learn so much. Each of us all individually can learn from our journeys.
Mm-hmm.
And I had quite an interesting journey, I have to say. So far anyway, yes. I was born a sensitive, intuitive empath. And I think it's something that only now is really being talked about. It's only something that's now actually being acknowledged and being kind of brought into the mainstream. Like I didn't know why I was so sensitive or what the reason for my sensitivity was. And, I didn't know that it was a gift. For example, I didn't know. I thought it was a curse. I thought the sensitivity that I had was a curse. Now I see it's a gift and a blessing and part of what God gave me to, express and share the human experience and emotion, and to process emotions, help people process emotions that they wouldn't normally kind of understand or have the vocabulary around to be able to understand what's going on with them, And as a child, I grew up in a family where the thing was my mother, God bless her, she suffered severely with mental health issues, schizophrenia. And so she was not able to take care of me or my 4 brothers, which is very sad. And she's beautifully now, she's actually starting to heal since I've done quite a lot of work with her myself on trying to understand her, and because I think understanding is key to healing,
Sure.
It really is. And, I was raised by my brother's father. I am one of 5. I'm the first of 5. And so I'm the only daughter in the family, and then 4 brothers. So, yeah, so, yeah.
I said there's a whole lot for you, and fair play to you. I like the point where you mentioned about the help you given to your mom, and you were able to understand it now compared to when things weren't straight, And one of the reasons we're doing this show most times is to really give people like yourself a voice, to really get it out there, to inspire other people that might be going through the same thing. And mental health issue has been one of the most important issues in our life to date. And it's good that we are sharing this, So thank you and fair play to you for this, for coming out to really share your story for the world to see what's happening and for people to get inspired and get help and support. Let's talk about the area of abused. Abused, is a very strong word, and it depends on what way this is being used. Neglecting, these are some of the other side we should pass through. Do you want to share with us the neglected side and the abuse? What exactly did actually happen?
Yes. Well, yeah, I've done quite a lot of therapy, so I actually can talk about it. A lot of people in my situation find it incredibly difficult to talk about these sorts of things quite openly without being emotionally triggered and having uh, physical sensations appear and arise in the body as they speak about it. They could go into panic. But look, I've actually recently as well, I'm doing counselling. I'm doing counselling every Wednesday now for to work on the emotions that come up around neglect and abuse and such things. And yes, when I was a child, yeah, it's kind of unusual. It's a kind of a funny, slightly funny, weird story. But my mother was not well enough to look after us, and my father. I was raised by my brother's father, and my biological father ran away before I was born, so I've never met him. And so there's issues around abandonment there that I have to work on. Yeah, that's an issue there.
No, no, I get you. I get you. I get you. Look, you don't need to really go into too many full details because I know, mentally, physically, you need, emotionally as well. So it takes a lot for you. But it's good that when we're able to speak up like this, it really does help because one thing I always feel myself is there is fear there that comes in as well, and also you don't want to be judged or people think you're looking for attention, and all of these things is where people kind of really draw back, and we want people like you to use this platform to speak out, because I believe when you speak out, the more you feel more relief, the better you get the healing quicker, and the better other people can connect with you, can talk about it, and that way you're not alone, if you get what I mean. So, I mean, I don't know, but it's a good moment that we're sharing this for yourself. So let's talk about your physical presence, right? How strong are you right now? How are you dealing with these every single day? Your father wasn't there. Yes, your mom was going through her own time as well, and you were helping out. You have a career language I will talk to you later on. So how are you managing your day to day in order for you to really get to that place where you want to be?
Good question, and thank you for acknowledging the journey that it takes to get here. Through recovery. Thank you for acknowledging this. That's
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I have reached out for help. I've reached out for help. So on Mondays, I have different things that I've set out as part of the healing and recovery. Like I actually take SSRIs, which is serotonin reuptake inhibitor tablets. I take those tablets because the trauma that I've experienced has actually been so painful that I've needed to take some serotonin tablets to balance out my serotonin levels. Because if you experience trauma, so much trauma, that the pain can actually cover over your experience completely of, and you're living completely in pain, and that's no way, you can't function like that. So the tablets just kind of, they don't make you a zombie. If you get the right tablets, you don't turn into a zombie.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't. So, and I'm an empath as well, so I also feel everybody else's feelings as well as my own. So that in itself is actually quite overwhelming, distance-wise. But to get on to what I experienced as a child, for example, my mother, when I was a child, she kidnapped me and my brother from the zoo. And I know it sounds hilarious, but she did. She kidnapped us from the zoo, and she brought us to like an abandoned building in the countryside, and she bet on my brother physically, and I watched this as a child, and I had what they call survivor's guilt, as watching a child like your brother being severely beaten. Like it was a severely beaten. Like it wasn't like, oh, a few slaps, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
your child sort of slaps. This was, she thought there was a demon inside of my brother.
Hmm.
You know, it was like
And
terrifying. You know what I mean?
I do. So like in Africa, I think in Africa as well, you know, parents would go off the way to really beat their kids, you know, but sometimes they felt like there's a way you beat a child and there's a way you really beat a child with anger, and then you put other forces into it and they become more physical and the child is helpless to do that. So pretty much that is fully abused, you know. In your own sense, did you have any kind of grudge to this day, because now you're more adult, so you know a lot of things, and like you said, you're the one helping her. Do you have any kind of grudge or somewhere in your heart where you felt like, you know, you don't want to forgive your mom, or you felt like, why did she do such a thing? Do you question her, or do you question yourself about it? Why could you not do something? If you get what I mean?
Good question. Very good question. I actually understand that, for example, my mother, my biological mother, I understood that she wasn't well when she was doing what she was doing, because it was really obviously behavior that was not well. So I actually forgave, I personally have forgiven my mother, and but my
Yeah.
brother has a long way to go towards forgiving my
Mm,
mother than I do. You know, I actually don't hold a grudge, but I think my brother does. So he has to work on that. But I think that's his healing process to go through, you know, and I can't dictate someone else's healing process. They have to come to these realizations themselves. But on that topic of a grudge, and my stepmother, for example, that's a different story, because I actually put up on the internet talking about how she was abusive in a different kind of way. It was more narcissistic abuse, as in she wouldn't allow me to be myself. She wouldn't allow
mm,
me to shine. She was really incredibly jealous of my stepfather's love for me,
mm,
and he adopted me, so it was more painful for me to experience that kind of um begrudgery. It's kind of, you know, begrudging someone love. Like, I mean, like the love for a father and a daughter is completely different from a love of a partner for their lover, you know. I
yeah,
mean, you cannot mix those two relationships. They don't even make sense. So in a way, I felt like my sexuality was a little bit perverted, being
mm-hmm,
perverted by this projection of jealousy coming from my stepmother.
mm-hmm,
Uh, yeah, so that is where I don't hold a grudge towards her, but I see that she's unwell.
mm-hmm,
Uh, but I think it's more dangerous when a person doesn't realize she's not well. You know, when he or she or whoever doesn't realize they're not well, then they can cause more damage that way to another human being if they don't understand that maybe their behavior is a bit toxic or whatever. So I've had to distance myself from that particular person, love
mm-hmm.
her from a distance, and say, okay, look, I love you from a distance, but it's not safe to love you closely. I can't have you in my life, and I need to get on with my life and be the person I was always meant to be, instead of
Mm.
being down all the time and made put into a box, and, you know, just to stop someone else from being afraid of you shining, that they're your shine would outshine their shine. You know, there's enough.
Yeah, I get
You
you.
know, we can
Yeah,
all shine.
I totally get you there. That's so true. All the same time as well. Um, Let me talk a little bit about your stepmom and your dad. Some information which you just shared there, which are vital. Um, you know, when you come from a step family or a step home, or you know yourself, where you have step brothers and step sisters, or the dad is seeing someone else, or the mom is seeing someone else, definitely you're never gonna have that 100%. Even though your father would or your mother would want to give you that attention, the other party would really, you know, find it a little bit inconvenience in a way, kind of, you know. maybe the both your dad might not see it. You know, sometimes they say love is blind, you know, it might not see it, but you sees it more than he sees it, or she sees it more than you see it, you know. So in a situation like that, it could be very, very difficult. And I always believe that people need to be very much open. If you want to love somebody. And if you feel someone hurt you in a way, say it rather than being the other way where you have to use words, or when the person's supposed to progress, you want to bring them down, you know. So my question for you would be, as your dad being aware of this, did you talk to him about it? And if you do, what did he do?
Yeah, well, the thing is, my father actually passed away 11 years ago.
Oh,
Um, he had alcoholism. So,
okay.
yeah, the thing is that I actually have studied all of this anyway. I've studied
Mm,
it all. So I understand the patterns and why people do what they do and all of these things. I'm fully understanding of all of these things. Like, for example, my father, his wound was that his mother actually didn't allow him to be the artist that he was. She always wanted him to be a doctor, actually,
mm.
and she wouldn't accept that my father was an actor, a musician, a creative, you know, and which is what I am, you know. So
Yeah.
I got so much support from that regards, you know. In that regard, I got support from him in that regard.
Mm,
Um, so I absolutely adore him. You know, he had such an amazing heart, and it's like that. You know, people can be very sick, you know, but also have amazing hearts, and you
true.
know, it's not black and white. Everything is not black and white like that.
Not
You
at
know.
all. Not at all. Life is not straightforward. Everything, sometimes we have ups and downs. You know, whenever we are down, we always kind of retry again and we go up again. That's why I always lately I've been putting a lot of motivational comment on my own private page there, just to encourage people that life is not all rosy. You have to walk the process today. If you're down today, you can be up tomorrow when you put the effort, you know. So well done to you, girl, for coming on the show to really share all of this. Let's move into your career. This is the more beauty side about yourself. As a singer and songwriter, tell us about what kind of song you do and how it really inspires you and where you are in your music. Let's do it.
Okay, sweet. Thank you. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, as I was talking about sensitivity and being an artist, and so uh, a lot of my influence actually came from my father growing up
Good.
because he was an actor. He was actually in the Royal Shakespeare Company,
Oh,
and
good.
yeah. So like when I grew up in Dorset Street in town, and a lot of people were wondering, why don't you have a Dorset Street accent? Because like, no, because yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Very Dublin.
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause, like, for example, if I was ever in trouble as a child, my dad would go, Rhiannon, you know, with this trained actor's voice bellowing out. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble now. uh, yeah, so uh, so I kind of mix theater and music, so that's kind of my style. It's
Okay.
I would have years ago when I created a band called Rhiannon and the Face Collectors.
Okay.
Yeah, and before that, I had been writing songs with my boyfriend, and like, and then we broke up, and then after we broke up, I went into a blues band and just decided to kind of get rid of all that sadness from the breakup and do a blues band. And it was an amazing time. We had a great time, me and my friend Carla Brunel and John Miller playing the slide guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and then we had, and there was drums and stuff, and it was really cool atmosphere. We'd learn about like 15 songs, and then other than the 15 songs that we learned, we would do, okay, let's play blues in G, or
Well,
blues C, whatever. Yeah, let's do a whatever. This one's called
yeah.
blues in F, and then I would just kind of like write it on the spot, so it would
Okay.
kind of develop my improv for
Hmm.
music improv skills for like kind of writing a song, channeling a song on the spot. So that
Mm.
was beautiful, and yeah,
Oh,
good harmonies as well. And I'd done quite a bit of work with a lady called Lisa O'Neill as well.
okay.
She's amazing. She's really cool. She's a folk singer, and
Mhm.
because my father was a folk musician, I was able to, step into that role as singer in a folk band.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, so I was doing the high harmony. I was doing the high harmony, and then there was a lady called Stina, a Swedish
Okay.
lady who has I think it's a Navan accent. She has a Navan accent because Lisa O'Neill's from Navan, and they have so much, so they have the same accent. It was funny. She's a lovely woman,
Very
and
good.
Lisa O'Neill and her amazing talents. So I'm on that album. Lisa O'Neill has an album,
Wow.
a bit of harmonies with her.
Well,
So
well done, girl. You're rocking. You're rocking. I love you so much for coming out like this. You're not holding back. Everything in there. You're saying it out, and this is what we love to want to be doing going forward for the new year, where we come out, we can speak out, regardless of who want to listen, who want to tap into it, who want to connect into it, and to be able to get more healing. Because for me, I am always blessed when I speak out. I'm always relieved when I speak my mind or whatever I'm going through my head. I share it in different ways, and you can connect with it. That's my own healing. So thank you so much for doing this today. Before we wrap things up, I know you're going to be singing a lovely song for us today. And I believe that song is your own song written by yourself.
yes, it
And
is.
what is the
Really.
title of the song?
It's I Can't Hide.
Wow. I Can't Hide.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a love song. It's a love song.
Beautiful,
Um,
beautiful. We love to want to hear it. We love to want to hear it. So stay with us. Let me just cut a quick break to that, and then we will allow you to go into it, right?
cool.
Good stuff. Okay, viewers at home, this is the jury question as always. I hope you have been listening and getting all the gist we have on the show today. Welcome back, lovely. Good one. That was lovely, girl. Thank you so much. Beautiful performance. And also, if people want to find you to listen to your music, before we even talk about that, um, is there a funding thing going on that you talked about the last time? How is that? People want to fund artists like yourself to donate single, whatever you can. Can you share more light about that, please?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes. As an independent artist, and I've decided to go independent because I believe that that's actually probably the best way for me personally to go, because I
True.
don't wish to be controlled or shaped by outside forces when I've got a direct link and connection to spirit, and spirit is telling me exactly what to do. So I kind of work with spirit on that one. Spirit
Mm-hmm.
is the boss, and so yeah, I'm not getting paid. So if anybody wants to donate, and because I actually go out busking, but I can't busk at the moment, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so musicians like myself, we do rely on funding and donation from the audience themselves personally. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really, really good way to actually show your support is to directly go directly to the artist rather than, you know, the whole thing of the CD and it is cut into about like a piece of pie that's cut into about 10 pieces for so many different people, whereas doing this directly like gives the money to the artist that actually puts the work in. So you know, yeah, that's the reason.
So, all right. So viewers at home, please do look out for this wonderful, beautiful artist, Rhiannon Clark. She is asking you to support her. She's an independent artist, like she just mentioned. Right now, you know yourself, due to the pandemic, we can't really go out there to do any buskers and stuff like that. Most gigs are not really happening, probably next year before things will kick off. So the best way for artists right now, people, whatever, it could be €1, €2, €3, 10 €, 50, 100, whatever you can, please go out there, support the wonderful, beautiful Rhiannon Clark. She's an amazing lady. Make sure you all go out and look for what kind of song she does. And hopefully when we are back, we will get to see our live gig coming next year.
I just want to clarify that my name is Rhiannon Clark. Rhiannon is a Welsh name, so it's very unusual for people to pronounce. So Rhiannon Clark, or Hiannon Clark, CLARK music. Rhiannon Clark.
Rhiannon Clark. It sounds like Rhiannon. So next.
it's Rhiannon and then on, as in it's on.
I get you. Rhiannon Clark. Okay, we are good. Thank you, girl. So people out there, go out there and look up for this wonderful lady. She got so much on her plate, and also she's on my Facebook. So if you want to get to know her, she's my friend on my Facebook. So you can also hook her up through that. But don't forget, she needs your support as an independent artist. So please, please, please go out there. If she has the link, she will share the link, and we'll share that with you as well. So girl, we want to say thank you for all you've shared today on the show. We want to wish you best of luck in your career, and keep on fighting, keep on winning, and keep on speaking out. Whatever you feel, say the word out, don't hold back. And look, I'm a minute away from you. If you ever need to talk, you know where to find me on my Facebook. Just reach out to me. Even just any kind of conversation just to blow the air off for you, reach out to me. I'm always available. Is that good?
Yes, it is. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. You're an absolute gentleman.
Thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you. Okay, viewers at home, this is where we're going to wrap up the show today. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. You can subscribe to the J Request on YouTube as well. I want to say thank you to all my team. Thank you to my director, Daniel Byrne, who has always been very dedicated to make sure we get a show going every week. Thank you to all those who follow us on all different social media. Keep doing what you do and keep staying strong. God bless. We'll come your way next week. I'm your host, Chris Saunders, and bye for now. Bye-bye.